All right, everybody. Thursday hit 10 o'clock somewhere. Sorry, I apologize. It's, what is it, 10:19. I was actually have a very good excuse for being late. Again, I apologize for everybody. Rob Thorson, a gentleman who lost his son tragically up in Darien. He's got that group called the Shoulder Check. So on the phone with him. We got an event going on today. Gary Dorkowitz, good friend of mine, that coaches Rockland High School, I believe it is. They have a game over in Brewster, or it's not Brewster, at Eberly Ice Rink in White Plains. So before the game, Rob's he makes a little presentation to talk to both teams about the shoulder check movement and helping each other out. So that's what we were discussing. Again, Paul, I didn't even realize it was after 10 o'clock. Mimsy, how are you doing, you magical creature? Actually, we're going to have Rob Thorson on. Really interesting guy. We talked way longer than I thought we were going to, obviously. But really, the subject of suicide and his family going through it is very, interesting to listen to him and things he's learned. And he says he's not an expert, but going through what he's gone through, he probably as expert as anybody. Ron Jameson, how are you, brother? Hope you're doing well up there in beautiful Buffalo. Lorraine, you magical creature. Again, apologize. So again, at 5 o'clock tonight, if everybody wants to come by before the game, actually, Rob Thorson, we put on a little presentation that's open to anybody who wants to listen at the Ebersol Ice Rink in beautiful White Plains. The guy, it's in a park. Barry Shelley, how are you? Susan Brooks, magical creatures, you two. Barry Shelley, we need to talk too, because I was talking to Jen O'Brien, who runs that American Special Hockey Association. They have that rink. Remember last year I was up there in just outside of Binghamton? Beautiful place. They fixed it up. Rest in peace. Hold on there. Danny Erickson, how are you doing? You magical creature, you. Was it Danny? Was it you that sent me that article about me signing with the Rangers? That's pretty cool to see that. Rest in peace, those players who passed. And those guys are passing young. Yeah. I missed that. Who was that? I'm sorry, Ron. I missed it. That was going there this week to skate with the Warriors. Oh, you are. You'll love it. So this beautiful rink. This Larry Pierce. Yeah, Larry Pierce played at he and his family. He played at Cornell. Pretty good player. He started this business as a demolition business, I guess, restoration, demolition. So he's a really great guy. So they built this outdoor rink on their property. But they're fun. Like they got I think 14, 15-year-old son bought his own tractor. Like they're just this family that always are doing something. They get equipment so that when they tear down these places, I believe this is correct. They have like cinder blocks and everything. They grind it all up and they use it for the roads and the property. But so they got the outdoor rink, and now they've added like this beautiful kind of like chalet right beside it, and with their fire pits and food, serving food. And Blaine Locker. Wow, I didn't hear that, Ron. Wow. Yes, in Vestal, New York. Very, very gonna love it. So I told Jen O'Brien about you. She's the one that runs the American Special Hockey Association. So I want to set you two up. You guys can chat. Great person. We call her PETA, pain in the ass. She has to be. I mean, she's a fantastic person, but she has to be to get things done. She just has to get to the point where people go, okay, we'll give what you want, because it's unfortunately it's there's a lot of people wanting it. It's charity. It's helping young kids, not young, just people in general that mental health issues. So first time there. Hope they have ice. They've got their own ice making machine and everything, so they should be okay. Ken R, he's a pirate. Ken R is a pirate. Ken R. So again, I went White Plains tonight. The game starts at 5. So if you want to go by there, I'd be there about 4:45. I'm going to get there. And really, I'm just there to support Ebersol Ice Rink. Who's the Mayor Delfino? That's right. So Mayor Delfino. The park is named after his brother. This isn't funny. It seems kind of funny, but so his brother died. He dropped a bowling ball on his foot, and it's not funny. The complications of the bowling ball accident, he passed away. So it's not funny. It's just odd. So if I see her, I can tell her. I heard she is. Yeah. Oh yeah. You can tell her that. She'll know where it came from. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. No, she's funny. She's got a good sense of humor. I make sure I tell her when I say that to her that I love her to death. She's a fantastic person. Does a lot of great stuff for other people. So, oh no, you can do it, Barry. You can do it. So let's just call it PETA. Yeah, just use the acronym. Is that an acronym? Is that when you shorten it like that? Like use the first letter? Acronym? Yeah, you can do it, Barry. She'll laugh. She'll know exactly where it came from. We're good friends. We just spoke the other day. She had been working at the Roscoe Mountain Club. There's just too much going on for her to continue that. So And that's we're up and running with that too. I'll get a post the brochure again, but myself, Mark Puttenvink, and Molly Morgan are going to be doing it. She's a registered dietitian. She'll put on a seminar probably on the Wednesday. Well, no, Tuesday. So if we have corporations, we're targeting corporations right now to go there during the week. But eventually we're going to have, other things where it's like individuals or couples can go. We're going to have like a Survivor weekend. I don't know if you guys know. Tracy, I don't know if you're here or not. I was on Survivor. You guys are aware. Whereas, like, the thing is, like, Barry, Ron James, Dan Erickson, Ken R is here now, Lorraine, Ms. Mimsy, everybody's like regulars, Susan Brooks. But like Tracy just kind of comes and goes, right? It's like on her schedule. It's just like really, there's just a term called loyalty, right? You just don't see a lot of that from Tracy Monster. Okay, so what else we got going on? The book is almost done. I gotta get me to Long Island. Yeah. Long Island, beautiful Long Island. I love Long Island. I think it's a beautiful spot. Beaches out there and everything. The only problem is the traffic, right? See, yeah. Wow. Yes, Ken R. You pirate, you. I was eventually with that camp for veterans up in here. Yeah, we'll be. That's right. We'll be doing stuff for veterans as well. We'll do a whole bunch of different themed. Some weekends, some during the week. Again, with the corporations, it's more, okay, you want to bring 10, 15, 20 people up there. You tell us what you want, or we can put together the program, whichever way you want to do it, timing of it. People, all inclusive, all the meals, lodging. Again, 1,000 acres, hiking trails, a golf course, lake to have boats on, go fishing. Pickleball, outdoor ice rink, skates there you can rent. What else I got going? This one house, the Burt House. So it was this older gentleman owned it, and he got, it got to get run down. So a new family bought it and refurbished it. But he built this house called the Burt House. His name was Burt, B-U-R-T, hence the name Burt House. And he never got to spend any time in it. Never got to spend one night in it. It's beautiful. It's a log cabin I would have dreamed of. It's, nice kitchen and the whole bit. It's got like 6 bedrooms, all the stone fireplace, big deck overlooking the mountains, fire pits and everything. So nice. Oh gosh, you've heard lots of it. See, it's one of those things, Susan. This is good marketing. What we do is drag it on for a little bit, entice people. Dogs. Well, okay. So now the weather gets a little bit warmer. Now people want to put their dog out on the deck, which we're not supposed to do. They're left unattended. So now the dogs are barking and everything. They're doing construction here, so the dogs are barking at all the construction workers. We could do a solar plunge. That's right. At this the lake up there. Oh man, it's a beautiful place. Like I said, it's like really that rustic, whole different world. It's like probably about 2-hour drive from Manhattan. But it's like you would never think you're in the same country. It's a beautiful, all the mountains. It's in the Catskills. So we're looking forward to getting that going. Talked to some people yesterday about a lot of real estate groups are interested in doing this because it's a team of people, like it's a team bonding event. And get people up there and they can still do the work if they wanted to on the phone. They get a cell tower right on the property. It's not necessarily meant for them, but because it's there, the cell service is fantastic. So you need people go up there and work and take their computers if they wanted to. But it's really like, again, getting out the trails. We really want to try to, so when people leave at the end, we really want it to be something to go, wow, that was a great experience. I learned so much about health and fitness and diet. But it's also like just beautiful resort, like in a whole different world. How's that truck doing these days? Excuse me, Dan. Excellent. I've had one problem. Okay, so a couple issues. I'm trying to maintain this vehicle. So during the summer, it was hot. There's a little metal clip on your rear view mirror, and it's glued to the windshield. And sometimes if you park in the sun, it falls off. But it's no big deal. You need like $2 to glue and a metal piece together and put it back on. Of course, I got a little negligent and didn't get it back on. Now it's cold, so I went to put the little metal piece on the wouldn't stick the glue because it was too cold. So now I have to wait until it gets a little bit warmer. So there's that issue. We had the issue with the transmission system. It was making a noise. The mechanic didn't know what it was. He drained the differential fluid and put new stuff in. Really didn't see any metal. It was like metal was grinding or something. It hasn't done that either. And then I had a little bit of rust on my rear view hitch, for the trailer hitch. I got to get that fixed up. Either get a new one or paint that up. But other than that, it is running smoothly. Thank you for asking, Danny, you magical creature. I know you really cared. I think he did, but okay, so Full Change podcast. Yes, I had a fantastic met Riley Cote. I don't know if you guys remember him. Played for the Philadelphia Flyers. Went through his own drug and alcohol issues and other stuff. And he now works in the world of treating people through the use of psilocybin. It's not solely that, but it's so one of our mutual friends had gone to see him last weekend. And after I talked to him the day after he got home, it was like a whole different person. He was really down in the dumps before. And apparently it's that microdosing and really has changed a lot of lives. I've had a retired Navy SEAL that did that as well. He actually did psilocybins and toad poison the next day. And he said it was the most intense thing he'd ever been through in his life, but it's the best thing he'd ever been through too. So what's the background? Actually, you know what? It's when the sun's shining in the window, it makes that it's on the logo for the Full Change podcast, which you can listen to on all podcast platforms. Please like, share, and comment, preferably on Apple. It's the best one for us, but either way. So that's going well. What else? There's some reason, but I was thinking about Full Change podcast. We got coming up. We have Riley Cote is going to come on. Charlie Simmer is going to come on. Remember him? Good guy. He was married to a Playboy bunny too. We might be talking about that a little bit. How that all happened. Okay. Let me see here. What? Thoughts on many players checking in the NHL assistant programs. It could be a little bit. So people, when they get in, they don't have to disclose that they're in that program. In fact, so I had way back. I had Sheldon Kennedy. We can try to get Sheldon Kennedy on the show as well. When he went through his issues with abuse, when he was abused, and he had signed a contract with the Boston Bruins, and I could not tell. Michael Connell was a GM at the time, and he had, luckily we knew each other, so he trusted me. I said, I cannot tell you. So I'm kind of surprised that it's coming out as much as it is. There could be an increase in guys checking in. So basically how it works is a team of doctors are hired both by the NHL and the NHL Player Association. And if a player has a drug or alcohol issue, they can go themselves and get help, or if there's something happens, they can be put in, they can be recommended to be put in. If they don't get help and they've done something, I think there's a certain number of times, like 2 or 3 times, then they can get, so when they go into the program voluntarily, they continue to get paid. If they don't go in voluntarily or just don't go at all, and they're deemed to be that they should be in it, then they can get to the point where they don't pay them. So that may be the reason more guys are, and again, once a guy leaves the team, there's always the media questions, rightfully so, like, where is this player gone? Like, it's not an injury, because they'd have to report a upper or lower body injury. So, yeah, so it's sad in one way, but I think it's obviously good that the guys are getting help, right? In the old days, we just sought help, and there's no program like that in the old days when we played. And that, you look back at it, there's a lot of guys that still or now are getting help, even guys when I played. So it's, like I said, it's a good and bad thing. It's bad that it's happening so much, but it's good that the program is there to help you guys. Good morning. I saw Winnipeg's Brendan Dillon got 3 games for a hit on Penguins. No, I didn't see that hit. I did not. He's a big boy too, that Brendan Dillon. I always thought I liked him as a player too. I'm surprised he didn't. He keeps moving around all the place. Deborah. Oh, no, you're right. I was actually on a phone call. I don't know if you heard it. Maybe you weren't on at the start of the show when I explained this. Excuse me. So I was on with Rob Thorson. Rob Thorson's the husband, the father of lost his son, and they started that group called the Shoulder Check. So we're going to an event tonight in White Plains at the Ebersol Ice Rink, where he's putting on a little presentation before the game to the 2 teams they're playing. Gary Dorkowitz's team, I think it's Rockland High School, they're playing against, I'm assuming, White Plains High School there. So it's an opportunity for, they really want to further this movement to Shoulder Check, and it's an opportunity to get, I suppose like 40, 45 young people together to talk about. I don't know if he talks a whole lot about what happened to his son, but he certainly talks about the Shoulder Check, helping out each other, reaching out, doing so. It's just a quick little presentation. I will be there in support, just like a bra of support. I don't know why I thought of that. just like a bra. Like you saw coming to the break, quick playing, like, Hall of Famer. He had a scary injury last night. Yes, he got cut with a skate or something. What happened to him, Sergachev? I saw just the highlights of that this morning. Yes. Well, that's going to be the dilemma. I mean, if you've got to keep trying to get Shesterkin in there. And I saw Quick was quoted as saying that, listen, Shesterkin is one of the best in the world if he's not the best in the world. But I mean, they're getting paid to win. So if Quick's going to be the guy that does it for him, you see here, they'd like to see him help for his hunting down at Pepper. Yeah, I miss Pepper. Not. Funny thing, the dog, when it got close to me, would never acted like it liked me, but then when he saw me from distance. Oh, good morning, Tom. Didn't think you were around today. I took one last check on YouTube, and today, so here I am on my laptop. Good to see you. All right, Jack Smith. Christine Brown, how are you? Susan Brooks looks like ACL. Is that what it is? You guys are up top of things. You just know what's going on. I'm just, I don't need to know what's going on because you guys tell me all the time. Pretty dead around here without Tracy, but be assured she'll be here. Tracy, she always loved to make. Yeah, I know, right? It's all about Tracy. She always watches early and see who's talking about her. Then she shows up. Yeah, that's exactly right. You hit the nail on the head there, Barry. It's always about Tracy, right? Yeah, she got to make the big entrance. She'll sit in the weeds there. Come in and say, okay, now I'm going to make my grand entrance. No, I'm not coaching the girls any longer. I hadn't coached in years, and I get excited to coach the rink is like right down the street from me, so that's going to be convenient. You forget how the time commitment, though. So it just was too much time way to do it. Love doing it, though. The girls were fantastic. I've talked about that before. I was really surprised how good they were. Listen, the boys are fun, too, but I was a teenage boy myself at one point, and I never listened to anybody. So that's teenage boys. Girls are different. They listen. They're like sponges. When the first practice, I helped this young girl. I told the story, but she after I was done helping, she goes, "Thank you, coach." What? Who was ever saying thank you for? Let me see here. Christine Brown, how are you? You magical creature. Okay, that's Danny. Okay, I'll get to you in a second here, Danny. Hold on. Steve Adkick is an old school guy. The other day he said Igor needs to sit right now and make him angry. Okay. Well, interesting. That's coming from a goaltender too. So, yeah, he obviously knows the player. Yeah, because I think I'm surprised he's really not playing as well as he could. Part of it, he's set the bar so high for him to continue to play at that level. But again, that's going to be at some point. You wonder if this continues on the way it's going. You've got to catch Shesterkin in there. Quick can't play forever, but you want to win. If he's the guy right now, let's hope him win. Imagine if they get to this point, it's first round of the playoffs, and it's going the way it is. You've got to play quick, I think. But okay, Danny, let's discuss this. Maybe are you drinking or something like that? Oh God, it's early in the day. I hope you're not drinking, saying this kind of stuff. Tracy's the queen of the show. Oh God, Danny. Honest to God, I'm telling you, we need to talk. We need some therapy. Oh God. Okay, so Super Bowl's coming up on Sunday. I'm going to make really big into sourdough. Had a little bit of a setback with sourdough. I'm learning about the sourdough starter, the timing of it and everything, when it rises, when you should use it, and fermenting and everything. So I made, we're going to make some sourdough pizza, homemade sourdough crust and homemade sauce. Now, it's Super Bowl. So we're going to have pepperoni on it. It's a little bit, that's not very healthy for you. A lot of salt and sodium, and it's that processed meat and everything. So a lot of bad fats, but it is Sunday. I think I'll be by myself watching the game, I think. Okay, Super Bowl picks. All right. I just don't know how as much as I think that San Francisco is a great team. I like Brock Purdy. I like the running back they've got there, but man, how can you go against Patrick Holmes? That's I guess my only question is how many times are they going to show Taylor Swift, Taylor Fast? We're going to call her Taylor Fast. Is it Taylor Swift? Is that what her name is? Yeah. Taylor Swift, Taylor Fast, Taylor Speedy. So yes, I'm going to go with. I'm going to be a big score, high scoring game though. I'm going to go with a 31-28 kind of score, with Patrick Holmes coming back at the end to win it. A nice touchdown pass to. I hate to say it, but Kelsey, because then they'll show Taylor Speedy again. Oh gosh, how many times do you think they'll show her? Do you think that her lipstick, is it painted on? Or is it like a tattoo? Somebody said to me it's tattooed her lips like that. That is clownish. Sorry, but that just is unattractive, I think. But it's not none of my business. Let me see here. If Shesterkin keeps failing, we'll have to take the mothballs off. Joe Graton. I've never met Joe Graton. I've heard so many stories about him. Shesterkin, we know how good he is. I kind of wonder what's going on. It's obviously a mental thing with him. his confidence lacking or what it is. Maybe it is. Maybe he's not used to being, a number two guy or guy having somebody like Quick. Like I told you, we did Luke Robitaille on our Full Change podcast. He had Quick there for, I think, pretty much his whole career, maybe not. But he said he said he's the best leader he ever saw, or one of the best leaders in. And that really surprised me because that's tough for a goaltender because it's kind of like they're in their own world when the game goes. But that was actually very, very good compliment. But in 1970, so I'm assuming then, the reason I say that is Quick is probably a big personality in the locker room too. If he's a leader like that, the other guys probably look to him. And you wonder if that's getting to Shesterkin, his confidence. And it's nobody's fault. It's just Shesterkin's still a relatively young player. So 1971, Andy Jockwitz dropped, and we never learned. 2 years he had a bad knee and that affected his play. So you'd know that they'd have to disclose that now. It's either an upper body injury or, listen, if it's just something that's bothering him, but it's not keeping him out of the games, I guess technically you don't have to report that. But let me see here. Jeez, Danny, why? I understand. First, you're sucking up to Tracy, saying that she's the queen. Oh, man. I know. Oh, that's right. She's going to be Japan. That's right. She's flying back from Tokyo. And somebody was Boomer Esiason was suggesting that they're going to pay for the NFL is going to pay for her to come back because she does so much for the. They feel like they're making an extra, I don't know, millions of dollars because of her presence. So I don't think that's true, is it? God. And all these football players be going on with these singers. Jimmy V says one more goal than Alex. Is Obi just having a bad season? I don't think he's got as much around him there as he's had in the past. But I mean, at some point, you're going to tail off. Your play can't continue. Wait, is now. See here. You guys looking for money? Yeah, looking in the wrong place. Go to my ex-wives. They got the money. I just enjoy life. This Taylor Swifting is going for it in our local radio station is playing 12 hours straight over. Oh, God, I know that drive me nuts, right? Yes, that's right. Toby Keith, we lost him. Thank you, Ron, for bringing that up. 62 years old, man. That's stomach cancer too, right? Yeah. Red Grange, rest in peace, Toby Keith. It's Quick in that for any twins or brothers. They look a lot. Oh, do they? I didn't really put them beside each other. Oh, I don't know if you guys, I think most of you guys know this, but Jonathan Quick's father-in-law, his former Ranger, Mike Backman. Backy. And Backy's other daughter got married to Matt was it Molson? Yeah, Molson. Played in Buffalo. Yes. Pretty girls. I don't know why they get married to hockey players. If people have daughters, don't let them get married to hockey players. Don't let them date hockey players. Maybe not. The guys are bad now. But hockey players are too stuck on themselves. Some of us get out of it as we get older, but most of those guys are. I wasn't. I was perfect. But so point a game players get depressed when they no longer reach that plateau. So point a game players. So point a game players get depressed when they can no longer reach that plateau. Danny, see, I'm a kind person. Like you pick on me all the time, but I'm not going to criticize this sentence, this grammar. And so point a game, players get depressed when they can no longer reach that plateau. So point to a game, some point a game, some point. Hold on. Look who's here. This fine gentleman right here. This is one of my oldest friends. John Kyle, brother of Walt Kyle. We lived together, the two brothers and I. Oh, man, we had some fun. John, there's a lot of stories to tell about John. I should get him on a podcast. Recently just had prostate surgery. He's doing fine now. But we were pretty tight. There's so many stories to tell with John. We had a thing where we called it the route or router, whichever. So we're up in Marquette, Michigan. John and I mix up a batch of Lay's Lightning or Junior's Juice. Lay's Lightning was a bottle of gin, a bottle of vodka, I think. What was it? Diet 7-Up. And this cooler with a red top on it. And I know this is wrong, but we would drive around our route drinking the Lay's Lightning or Junior's Juice. And we would come, and we lived in a house with these two guys. It was Jeff Taskoff, and I can't remember the other guy's name. And so this other guy had his buddies over, and John and I gone on our little drive. We overdid it. I think we drove through a puddle, and the car wouldn't start again. So we just sat there and drank the whole time. So by the time we got back to the house, we were feeling pretty good. And this guy would be bragging. He said, "These guys can drink all day long. They don't get drunk." And I guess they're looking out the front window as we get out of the car. We fell in the car onto the front lawn and just laid there. Oh God, yeah, we had some fun together, man. The three of us. Oh, let me see. I saw a picture of Gus wearing one of his dome helmets. Was that your favorite helmet? No, that was embarrassing. That thing. God. It's just like it set up, made him look like he was like 10 feet tall too. Like he sits up above his head. Talking about a big head. Let's see. Swift is overseas and Tracy hasn't shown up. Tracy has a new friend. It's worth it. Okay, yeah, that's the kind of thing that Tracy would do, right? She'd be hanging out with Taylor Speedy. I meant so point a game, point to a game. Then that player knows. So I'm still like, I'm kind of confused there. You're saying like one particular game where the player says, "Okay, I've lost it." Let's discuss that statement. We should. Okay, what do we got here? We should have Wes McCauley, the ref on Full Change. Yeah, that's me. Actually, he's a distant relative of mine. There's a guy. Is it Gus McCauley was a referee in the NHL for a long time? There's some relation there. It's distant, though, I think so. But yeah, that'd be cool. He's got quite a personality. What do we got here? Before moving to Jersey, went to school with Doug Brown. Doug Brown, ex-Devil, married into the Merrifield. That's correct. Yeah, that's still there too. Yes. Do point a game. Am I missing something? Can someone jump on here and help me on this one? Maybe it's me. My brain's not working probably. I'm just having a hard time with Danny's trying to get to here. And Danny, yeah, Robbie, for some reason, Robbie wore it. Wasn't as bad. Like Gresh had that big thing on. Holy smokes. Damn. Big motorcycle helmet. 29 points as rookie was, yeah. Is that 29 points a game? So 29 points out of 80. Okay, yeah. No, it's not 0.07. No, it's 0.3. It's 0.27, right? 29 points into 80 games. 0.27. Roughly 1/3. Less than 1/3. So don't try to take Jack. Come on. 0.27. Not 0.027. I mean, like come on. Later on in my career, it was maybe 0.0727, but do your math then. Get on your calculator. Hold on. Bob Purdy had many games in Iowa State where he was dynamic, and I think he may surprise viewers. I agree, but I don't think it's going to be a surprise. I think people really think highly of him. At first, I think people would call him like that game manager. That's some kind of an insult. But now they view him as like he's had a couple of games here now where he engineered comebacks to win. So some players average 1 point a game when they no longer are able to do this. Yeah, Jack, you weren't testing me. You think I didn't go to college at Northern Michigan University? Harvard of the Midwest. Yeah, there you go, brother. No problem. Just get a little sensitive when we're talking about points. There's an whole lot of them, so somebody takes more points away from me. That's not good. Did you see Gus's fishbowl? No, I didn't see that. No. Oh, he had the big bass going too. The game has changed, right? I mean, it's a different game now. We talked about before where the equipment, like we would take equipment off. Although I see these guys wearing those short gloves now, but there's no slashing. So, but they still get cut with skates and everything. Let me see. Yeah. I hate to tell you, Tom, but we discovered that you're a distant relative of Taylor Swift. Oh, God, how would you want to be the guy kissing that? Oh, my God, you're kissing a paint can. That's nasty. Oof. I don't know about you guys, but like that, kiss a woman, like kiss her lips. You don't want to kiss like a big red paint can. Let me see. Taylor Speedy. Knitting and first year skating count in college other than GPA. Oh, racquetball, beginning skating, bowling, and then phys ed too. Oh man, it's funny when I was taking those two. I thought it was really funny. I guess it is still funny. You're in college getting a scholarship and you're taking bowling and racquetball. Oh, look at this. Let me see. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Barry, for sticking up for me. Thank you. Getting the math correct there. Jack was trying to take points away from me. Imagine what the guys would be scoring today with 1970s goal equipment back in the 1980s. Well, I mean, part of it is the sticks too. You watch these guys shoot now; they're learning more and more how to use the whip and the stick. Let me see. Yeah, I can picture Tom with Dr. Pimple Popper. Dr. Pimple Popper. Was Dr. Pimple Popper a real person? Zits. Where do we get zits? If Tracy ever got zits, you think she got zits? Or she's one of those people that like wouldn't go outside if she got a zit. It's probably the way she was. She got a zit. She just. Are you going there? I as of right now, I think Tom Smith and I are going to do a podcast from the parking lot. So I don't know if I'm going to go win the game. Probably not. I'll probably just do the podcast and then get out of there. Let me see here. Did you see where Ranger goalie Wayne Thomas was the honorary coach in the NHL? No. Wow, that's good. Wayne Thomas, Twinkie. Good guy. Good teammate. He had a good career, too. I don't know what he's doing now. He had been with San Jose Sharks for a while, but he's done Twinkie. I don't know why they call him Twinkie. She's an agent. Dr. Pimple. Are you serious? That's classic. Dr. Pimple Popper. She's an Asian dermatologist. Oh, very funny. Very funny there. Danny Erickson. You can be funny sometimes. No, that's not, but damn. I wonder if that's a true story. I'm going to look that up. What you got to show here. Dr. Pimple Popper. Her middle name's Purple. Dr. Pimple Popper. Pimple Purple Popper. I saw the other day, I know this is an old one, but it's not funny. There's a plane crash and some intern flashed the names of the pilots up there. I know it's an old story, but I just saw it on the reels the other day too. The pilots' names were Fly Too Low and Something Wrong. And the guy doing the broadcast didn't realize those names were jokes, or he read it. Didn't work out for the intern very well with his career. Yes, Deb, we're back in the gym groove. We got away from the gym for a little bit and we're doing more walking, and now it's back in the gym. Changed the gym from our old gym, or Rick Stebbins place we go to Crunch Fitness now in Port Chester, New York. Largely, really, it's one of those gyms like $10 a month. So I really like it because it's not all fancy and everything. It's got all the equipment you need, but they don't clean up. The weights are all over the place, so it's more like a gym. And it's pretty hard working. I go in there at 5 o'clock, and it's the same guys. Most gyms are like that. You go early in the morning like that. Usually the same people every day. Everybody gets to know each other. They're high-fiving and knuckling and grunting and groaning. One guy, built pretty good. He's whistling the whole time. He's got the big head speakers. There's speakers on his head, just like I've got here, and he's whistling. So you kind of get used to it. He's funny. It's very large Hispanic population in there. Port Chester is largely Hispanic. Hence so there's a lot of Brazilian people, a lot of Portuguese, Spanish being spoken. I'm learning, getting better. Let me see here. I saw that Susan was in Hartford. You posted that a couple of times that you're up in Hartford. 45 Saves by Dominic. Could be a trade ship. Oh, Dominic. Let me see. Another former agent, Dan Boyle, was the other honorary. Oh, wow. God, he was funny. Oh, really? Remember, was it Dan Boyle that was giving it to Larry Brooks, Susan's brother, there one time? And Dan had retired, and they're in the locker room. And Larry wanted to talk to him, and Dan tried to get him thrown out of the locker room. I've seen that video. For some reason, too, the argument between John Tortorella and Larry pops up. That's classic stuff. I had heard for a while that I thought that they were actually buddies. It was, Susan, thank you. I'd heard the rumor that Larry Brooks and John Tortorella were actually friends, and I saw Larry at the thing that Susan had put together for the booster clubs, the NHL booster clubs, and I asked him that, and he says, "No, that's not true at all." It's funny. Actually, Larry's a fantastic guy. I told him this. I told him, at the thing too. He is consistent. If he's going to rip people, he rips everybody. He doesn't have favorites. He says what's on his mind. And he's very entertaining. Actually, he tells what he thinks is the truth, and people don't like that sometimes. So he's good. Jeff Brown, James Brown was on Boonius, and he said he covered hockey. And the only thing in common with the hockey is the color of the puck. James Brown, that's funny. But Susan Brooks would love to keep him. Keep who? Let's see here. Green line heat and fuck looking like funny man. Oh, okay. What do we got here? Okay. I noticed many of the 80s Ranger Games highlights are posting on. Yeah. What is that about? I thought that was just me or something. This is kind of an algorithm. Once you watch certain videos, you kind of go down that rabbit hole. They keep sending you more stuff like that. Yeah, it's actually kind of fun. I know I said this the other day, but I was talking to James Patrick about this. I was the only one who thought we did this. When we're watching the game, the old game. If we make a mistake, we turn it off right away. We're mad. We don't want to watch it anymore. And I'm even aware that I do it, and I just still can't stop doing it. I just don't want to watch if I made a mistake. You know what? I don't know. I'll let Susan answer that question if she feels like it. But I think they both have their own opinions. I don't think that. I think Susan has her own opinion of watching the game, but I'm sure she loves her brother. I'm sure she listens to him. Dominique. Oh, yeah. Susan Brown loved Dominique. Oh, how do you say that? Domingue. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes. Wally Thacker. What's happening out there, British Columbia, you magical creature? Morning. No, she does. Susan does not agree with Larry all the time. That's what I figured. Not to disagree, but okay. Christian Brown agreed. Domingue. That's right. I was calling Dominique. Domingue is a good in case of emergency again. Yeah, but that'll be fine. It's just the only question to me is how long does Jonathan Quick play? Because if he keeps playing like this, he's not going to want to retire. Then they got a little bit of an issue. But they want to win. If he's the best goalie, got to play him. Lineups used to refer to connections for the Henry. Yeah. The other funny one too, James Patrick. He's a very disciplined man, and he wants his name is James, and he wants to be called James. When you watch the Flyers games, do the Flyer broadcast, the guy's name I can't remember who he was. He's been there for a long time. He's a good play-by-play guy. He calls him Jimmy Brown, Jimmy Patrick. Just talking about Brown, Jimmy Patrick. It's funny too. And he always calls him that too. Like he doesn't call everybody by their first name. But it's Jimmy Patrick. I think I'm going to send a video to James. Oh man, I'll tell you one funny night was Mike Allison. I've told this story, but we were in the pub in Rye, and Mike Allison got going on this in his hometown. There's this place called Big Jim Sports Campers, and knowing that James didn't want to be called Jim or anything else other than James, Mike Allison got going on this Big Jim Sports Campers, and it was, of course, I'm making a model of it too. But he'd had a couple of adult beverages, and man, he was funny. But I'll tell you, he's one of those guys. Barry Beck's like this too. You get them on a roll, get them going. They are just like crying funny. And once they're going too, it just keeps on going. And they both could be very quiet at times, but then once they got on a roll, they were butter. Funny stuff. I loved getting a huge photo album from back in the 80s of the Kings and Rangers. Yeah. Isn't it funny looking at those old pictures? Man, God, what were we thinking? The hair sticking out all over the place. Let's see. Trade deadline thoughts. We get cap space from Philippe Heenel out, and no jury will do something. Yeah, he's probably going to do something. What's the issue with me is I like more the fringe moves, like the seventh defenseman, the fourth line winger kind of thing. Especially if you think you've got a good enough team the way it is. And the Rangers showed, especially in that first quarter, 1/3 of the season, they were arguably the best team in the league. The goaltending they have is either one of those goaltenders. Obviously, when he gets Shesterkin back on his game more, but great goaltending. I love the coaching. Again, you add depth moves. Because there's always going to be injuries. It's a long grind in the playoffs, but I'm not big on making those changes. I mean, look what happened last year with Kane and whatever his name is, Fedotenko, whatever. Didn't really work out, right? But again, it's hard, especially when you get a guy like Kane saying that he wants to play for the Rangers. If you don't go get him and then you don't win, people are like, why didn't you go get Kane? He told us he wanted to play there. But you all don't know the truth, like how much he was hurt and all that stuff. James Patrick was hard on his nephew Nolan telling the truth. Good for James Nolan. Yeah, James didn't pull any punches on that subject. Yeah, he loves his grandson. He wants him to have a great career. James has been through it, and didn't Mike Allison own a private island in Canada? Not to my knowledge. He could have, and I didn't know about it, but I've never heard that. Red dog on the red dog, red hair. Good luck to Nick Menino wherever he lands up. He gave the Rangers a solid effort with his shot blocking. Seemed like a good guy. Yes. See, those are the kind of guys you need, I think. Those. If I'm going out and getting guys, I'm getting those grittier guys that are going to make the other team pay, hard to play against, blocking shots, killing penalties, taking faceoffs. I mean, they've got enough talent. Everybody's got to play to their talent level, but they've got enough talent. Again, injuries are going to be part of it. Always is. But it's attitude, and again, the Rangers showed 2 years ago that they've got the attitude to win. thing that was bad for them, I think, 2 years ago was they played those long 7-game series, and then once you got to the semifinals, they got worn down. So part of the key is like they finish those series in 4 or 5 games, but they've got to come play. Like last year's performance, I'm not saying something that, I don't think they would even say that it was acceptable for whatever that reason is, especially when they showed that they are much better than that. So remember, Bill Torrey thought, don't do anything. He would never trade what's going. He was huge behind. But was that a deadline trade? The Goring trade? Well, yeah, I mean, listen, there's always a case, but again, to me, it's the kind of player. And Butch Goring is a great example. Like he wasn't another Mike Bossy. He was more like another John Tonelli. Skate, forecheck, gritty out there. But the game has changed. But I just think the Rangers are such a good team as it is. But you have to look at all trade possibilities too. But again, you also have to be aware of the locker room and how it works out. Again, I thought this is me from a distance. I thought part of the problem last year was that those 2 guys came in, Kane, it was Fedotenko, and were top 6 forwards. So they bumped 2 guys that were playing top 6 minutes down. And then does that, the guys, were they sulking about that? And again, I don't know that for a fact. You kind of wonder if that was part of the problem. Because your locker room is really important too. Like guys bond together. If you've got the right guys in the locker room, they bond together. And that's a big part of having a winning team is that they're all pulling on the same rope, the same direction. But let me see. Yeah. Yes, that was Deadline Dean. They got rid of core guys, Billy Harris and Dave Lewis. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, listen, is always, I don't know. I look, I'm trying to think back, like, Tampa went on their little run recently. Did they make a deadline deal? Maybe they did little stuff, but I don't know. I'm just again big in the locker room. I've never been in the Rangers locker room, so I haven't seen the interaction amongst the players. But that to me is a huge part of it. A huge part of winning. You don't necessarily have to have the best team. You look at the Islanders; they were not the best team talent-wise when they won. They had the right locker room. Tarasenko, thank you, Christine. What did I say with Fedotenko? That was an old player from back in the old day. Vladimir Tarasenko, yes. And again, when I talk about Kane or Tarasenko, I'm not saying they're bad players by any means. And I don't blame Chris Drury for going. If you see those guys are available, you can get them. Then you go make those moves. It's just, and maybe sometimes you don't know how they're going to fit in the locker room. It just doesn't work for everybody. And that's everybody's responsibility. It's a leadership group. The players are the 4th line guys, the new players coming in. You got to make a real effort to have that team fit together. So for me, when I got traded to LA, I've been a captain or assistant captain in New York for 7 years. Well, not for the full 7 years, but last 5 or 6 years. So, but I can go into the locker room in LA. I can't walk in there and try to be a leader right away. I mean, I can be vocal, but they've already got their leadership group. I have to blend in to the team, and then eventually, if you become a leader in that new group, then that's fine. But you got to be, I remember walking in thinking, okay, I got to be careful here. I can't be the same Tom Laidlaw in the locker room that I was in New York. I look around. Dave Taylor's there. Jake Wells is there. There's other people that are leaders, and you got to let them do the leading. You can help them and assist them. And eventually, I became an assistant captain there. I think I was captain for a little bit there. But yeah. No, I wouldn't say there were. I think it's a good question, Danny. But I wouldn't say that you can just say, okay, deadline deals are overrated. It depends on what the team is, what kind of position were they in before, what injuries they'd have, who are the players you're picking up. Again, are they 4th line players? Are they star players? Sometimes it's worse to pick up a star player that now comes in and bumps somebody down the lineup. It really changes the dynamic of the team. When it's more of a support guy coming in, it's much easier. But it can be risky too. Like if you've got a team that you think is good and you like your locker room and everything, and all of a sudden you bring in some guy that, and it may not even be a bad guy, just he's a dominant personality. And Tarasenko just changed agents. Why would a player change mid-season? Well, something could have happened with the old agent. It could have been some bad communication. He's not doing what the player wanted him to do. But it's a tricky thing. Again, we've talked about this. There's a standard player agent contract. You can't even. When I was working, you couldn't even like retype this thing. You had to actually use that copy. You couldn't change any language on it. It was a collective bargaining agreement. It was part of the collective bargaining agreement. And if the player and the agent signed it, and the agent negotiated a contract for that player, the player had to pay that agent what he was due, no matter what. He could fire him, but he would still have to pay him that money. And there's no disputing that. That's just the way it is. But again, some agents would not get those contracts signed. They're supposed to do that, but if they didn't get it signed, then they can fire. But again, you can fire them, but you still got to pay them. That's when like Jack Eichel fired his agent and went with CAA, I believe, during his contract negotiation with Buffalo. Again, I don't know whether he signed the agreement with the agent or not, but again, technically you're supposed to get that done, but sometimes if you have a long relationship with the guy, it almost gets awkward to get him to sign it. So what are you saying? You don't trust me? But it's in everybody's best interest to get that done, both sides, because it protects the player as well, but it also protects the agents. Let me see here. I wonder if Mike Felicia's kids would be a good pickup. Okay. Yeah, that kind of guy, I like that. Yeah, especially in Chicago there. The one in Chicago went after Smith, who hit Bedard, that kind of stuff. Went after him a couple of times. That's exactly the kind of guy you want to get. I agree with that. Good job, Jack. Yeah. Yes, I agree. I saw the two brothers, Nick and the other were getting interviewed, and they talked. Somebody asked them about Taylor Speedy, and they're pretty smart. They say, "Oh, well, our wives are hotter than she is, anyways." Something like that. So, and actually, always because it was Biz Nasty was interviewing him, and he was funny. He says, "Oh, you guys are good. You saved your bacon there." Bring up back up since Kreider line isn't doing much. Yeah, I don't know. Again, you're going to go. I think, you know what? As management, you got to look and see, do we believe in this core group of guys? Do we believe in that line together? Do we believe in all three of those players? And knowing full well that the veteran players, you're going to have up times in the season and down times in the season. And you got to ride through both. You don't get too excited when you got all those great games going on. And don't get too down. If you really think those guys are good players and they prove that they are good players, that's part of the thing about being management, is having that patience. I mean, you want to keep pushing the players to get better and better all the time. You want to win, but again, it's getting in the playoffs and then performing in the playoffs that really counts. When you've had a team that's been through it before, like the Rangers, the bulk of the Ranger players have. So we should pick the bones of teams like Anaheim and bring back. Yeah, listen, those kind of guys. Yeah, but again, I wouldn't, I think Chris Drury's proven he knows what he's doing. It's just, you wouldn't go out and want to just, okay, I've got to get something done for the sake of getting something done. If you can improve the team or get something, you say, okay, do we need this fourth line guy? This is a depth guy, a seventh defenseman. Then let's do that. Again, I just think they've got a good team as it is. But Tom, recently I saw a game, saw my guy Darren Lang on a podcast, and he sang your praises, saying, I was like, did he really say that? He doesn't say that. He sees me. He goes, "Yeah, I never did it for him. He's funny. He's got a good sense of humor. He can dig pretty good." Now we had a good time together. He was one of my biggest surprises as an agent. He was playing. I knew his coach Claude Noel down in Dayton in the East Coast League. So Claude and I got to be friends for some reason. But hold on, Tracy's coming here. Hold on. I'll tell the story before I get to Tracy. Yeah, go Tracy. I don't need to talk to her. So Larry Plow was the assistant general manager with the Rangers at the time. He wanted to sign him for Binghamton. And so Claude called me up. He said, "Can you represent this?" I said, "Sure, yeah." I don't know him, never met him. I'll just do a contract for him. And then Larry Plow said, when we got to Binghamton, he said, "Tom, this guy can play in the NHL." Of course, then I was all over him like a blanket. But then, man, he was a good fighter. He was a good player, too. He actually knew the game really well. Great teammate. Do you feel like Kakko's Well, that's one, you wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if that's a deadline deal, because then somebody's got to take him on, right? In the middle of, partway through the season. Could be. I mean, if someone get the right deal, somebody really believes in him, because he was a high draft pick. So it was the second overall. So obviously there's some people out there that may still believe that he can be a player. And sometimes that works better when you go to another team that you weren't drafted by. There's less, you're not that team's second overall pick. You're just a new player coming in there. So, well. Wow. No period on that sentence, but I guess you just want to be just freelancing and not being correct in your grammar. That's some people do it that way. Not picking on you, Tracy. I just thought I'd point that out to you to help you. They need to find the rate for I don't, again, it wouldn't, but what is, you don't know for sure what's going to mesh. Yeah, but at the same time, maybe it does mesh too. Larry told great stories. He said Brian Leetch like this. Yes, legendary. He's a pretty good drinker from what I hear. Brian Leetch. I'm in the training with your cardiologist. Wanted to say hi. Wow. We'll alert the media on that one. Susan, can you call Larry up? We'll get that written in the New York Post. So we got X's and O's. I think the X's and O's were for me. I'm in training with. I want to say hi. Wow. Don't we feel better now? Like that's just, we should all feel just blessed that Tracy's joined us. Just like she's making sure we know that she went out of her way, just that she gave up something else to come be with us, right? Like we should be just thrilled to death. Tracy, don't believe what Tom says. I know he will say Mr. All through the show, but your name never came up. Oh, Barry's a troublemaker. He is a troublemaker. Problem is we can't move him low. We can't move him low. Moving him that would be poor value. Well, yeah. But if you don't think he can play, you got to move him at some point. But maybe it's just saying, listen, okay, we need to be patient here with this young guy. Maybe they know him well. They know his work ethic. They're around him all the time. And they think, what, he's going to come out of this. Well, yeah. If you trade, you would want youth. But okay, so think of another team though. Another GM said, okay, we're going to trade for Kaapo Kakko. We don't know if he can play or not. We'll take a chance on him. It may be more conditional stuff like draft picks, conditional draft picks, depending on how he plays. If they re-sign him, let him go. So. Oh, here we go. Here we go. You're not the grammar police. Stick the shit, No. Hey, what's this little thing down here at the bottom of the screen there? It's got the little, it's a little dash or whatever that is. Is that like she just threw that in there? You're not the grammar police. Good morning, William Haynes. What if he wears Hanes underwear? It's not my business. I just kind of wonder. Maybe he owns a company. Who knows? Be with Barry Shelley, Danny Erickson. Be with. Okay. Be with Dan. Is that an addition to some other? Just be with Barry Shelley, Danny Erickson. Is that one name? They should combine two people there, right? Like Barry Shelley, Danny Erickson. Like there's no comma or is there an end like that? If you don't watch the Super Bowl alone, perhaps you would send an invite to Tracy. Sure, I'll do that. Yes, she can't. Hopefully, she just calls me a jackass, though, right? Well, it is Haynes actually. William's name is Haynes. It's not Hayes. Tracy, you're really very. Are you okay, Tracy? I'm worried about you. It's like you're spelling here. You can't get names correct. You put two names together. No punctuation points or whatever. Punctuation points. All right, we're here for you, Tracy. Okay, we're here for you. I went through guys like Gene Carr who built up what was amazing. The fact he was so bad. Chadwick said if Gene Carr shot at the Atlantic Ocean, he would miss. Oh yes, right on, right, Barry? Or yeah, right. Barry. Oh, I froze again. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on. All right. I'm confused by account. So am I, Barry. I'll banish him. Let me see. Hey, Tom, we get a game of hunt back in the day. Could you leave or did you have to hang around? Yes. You guys wear Hanes boxers, by the way. Yeah. See, Tracy? Man. No, you have to stay around. Yeah, you got to stay with your team. Yeah. No, you stay there with your team until it's done. I'll banish him. Huh. Bear asked me, what did he say? Banish me. Oh, I'm not sure what you see here, Barry Shelley. Every time Tracy comes on, you freeze it. Yes, good point by you, Barry. Good point. It's Tracy's fault. You're right. Yeah, she scares the computer. You know what I'm going to do from now on? I'm going to, when I force quit it, then it obviously works. So I think before I go on the show, I'll force quit the computer. So then it's already done it because it's been doing every show. If I tell you helmets and shields, yeah, it's not. Listen, I'm very careful. This game has changed so much. These athletes are fantastic athletes, but yeah, the fights now are not. Like usually, two guys just stand there in front of each other and throw as many punches as they can. Now it's stretching, punching the guys in the helmet and everything. It's just different. It's not their fault. They're still fantastic athletes and courageous and all that. Just Tracy's a different. Oh, Danny, can you suck up a little bit more? My gosh, that's ridiculous. Oh, Tracy's a wonderful woman, gorgeous and everything, but. I mean, not that it's not true, but I mean, why make you just like suck it up? Yeah, we get Steve Vickers in to work on the computer. Let me see. CC. Tom's quaking in his boots. What? Because Tracy? Oh, here we go. Look at this. I used to get that. And the other guy. And the other day again. Oh, I used to get that. I look like David Moore. Oh, yes, I get that all the time. I'm Tracy Marie. I don't know how to spell, but I look like Demi Moore. Like, you can't believe you said that. I used to get that the other day. Oh, goodness. Danny, you're feeding into it. You're feeding into it. What was that? Well, good point by you. Survivor. You could go on Survivor, Tracy. Yeah, you'd be the villain picking on everybody. Pick on me. Did the guys feel back in the day when they could play with their shuckles taped up and fight? It was hard for them to remove the tape and fight. Well, for a while there, it wasn't against the rules to have your hands taped up. It was, I guess, partway through my career. So, oh, Danny, please stop. Enough. Goodness gracious, Danny. Are you now doing that on purpose just to get to me? Like to make me think, like, Danny, what did you? God. How would the guys today with Nick Fuel who stood back in boxing? Nicky was like, yeah. Again, it's just so different. They just wouldn't. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't fight Nicky. Yeah, they're different people. Again, you remember, like, there's Ryan Reeves is still in the league, I guess. Maybe there's a couple other guys that fight. Tom Wilson fights, but it's more like back then it was like you had 3 or 4 guys in every team that were Ryan Reeves. In Boston, it was more than 3 or 4. So, okay, here we go. How does she look like Demi? Damn, she does look like Debbie. Oh, William, stop! Don't get sucked into this. This is unbelievable. Oh, okay. Now she's going to depart too, but she just doesn't leave. Okay, have a good one, my loves. I have to work. Oh goodness, it's like a big entrance, big departure. And then everybody's telling, oh, you look like Demi Moore and Danica Patrick. Oh, Tracy. Oh. Let me see here. Thanks, Tracy. Thomas over doing the spell check. What is, I thought we were tight, Barry. All right. Thanks, Tracy. Didn't realize that I was twisting Thomas. Stop twisting my pants. Oh, jeez. Who we got here? What do you got? Jack's Nicky's hand speed. I guess guys at home Wilson. Yeah. Russ Anderson can be. Yeah. Whole different ball game. Bye, Tracy. Barry. See, Barry started off strong too, and as soon as Tracy shows up and things go down the tubes. All right. So again, guys, over in Ebersol Ice Rink in White Plains today. I'll be there probably around 4:30, 4:45 maybe. Rob Thorson, who was the father that heads up the program, Shoulder Check, will be there. Should be talking to the 2 high school teams, Rockland, and I'm assuming it's White Plains High School, seeing they're playing in White Plains. Great guy, had a good conversation. That's why I was late today getting on the show, because I was talking to Rob. Didn't realize we got talking more than I thought we were going to, and a little carry weight. So that if anybody wants to come by, again, there's a game at 5, and then Rob will be talking a little bit before those guys go on the ice. So it's open to everybody. It's meant for the team, but again, it's a public rink, so if you want to come by, you can. Everybody except Tracy. Let me see here. Squeezing. Don't be squeezing my nuts. No. Wish you could be in Vestal this weekend. Yeah, I'll be up there. I got to find out for sure. I think it's February 24th. I'll be up there for the they have the ASHA tournament. But again, I'll make sure I told Jen O'Brien about you, Barry, and I'll make sure she knows that you're going to be there this weekend too. So wonderful family up there. Their rink. Oh man, it's beautiful up there. The family is pledged that they will never charge people to use the rink. It's a full size outdoor rink. They spend a lot of money on it, a lot of upkeep because they get the compressors running and everything. So they're a fantastic family. Like, wow, he's the kind of guy, he gets something he wants to. When I was up there last year, he wanted to buy a bus. So he bought a bus. He works hard. He's got this business, very intelligent guy. But if he wants it, he's kind of his motto in life is if he wants it, he's going to go get it. He's going to find a way to make it happen. The road to their farm was going up through some homes, and there's a lot of traffic there. So the neighbors started complaining. So they just built a new road on the other side of the property. They own their equipment. They cut down all the trees. The son goes out there, cuts down all the trees, makes a new road. Like the son, I think he's 15 or 16 years old. He drives the tractors all over, and he can basically do anything his father can do. Let me see. Yeah, I'm working. I'm at work, sitting on my engine, waiting for a green signal, watching your show. Oh, okay. Yes, see Dave Maloney a lot. Tons of respect for Mr. Dave Maloney. He was one of the first guys. Well, not one of the first, but I mean, he really worked hard at preparing himself for after the game. In fact, I think he had 2 years left on his contract. He got traded away from our Rangers. He was up in Buffalo. Just didn't want to deal with him. Was tired of playing and went to work on Wall Street because he prepared himself to do that. So he was able to walk away from a contract and now go making, I think, pretty much the same money. Maybe not, but still, he's ultimately going to get there. Tons of respect for Dave. I don't know if I respected him as much when I was back younger and wild and everything, but I didn't realize what a gentleman he was and everything. So, but I do now. So, no, I don't. But I'll break this news. I should be careful about this. I don't know what's going to happen. I should be approached by a producer out in Los Angeles who does a lot of stuff up in Canada, and they wanted to look at the potential of doing a cooking show up in Canada with me on it. So we'll see. Again, that's very early, just a couple of discussions, and we'll see what happens with that. That'd be fun. I'd love to do it. I just don't want to say it's a done deal. Open it up for the local school team to play with. Yeah. There's high school games playing up there. Yeah, the rink. They're talking about the rink up there, the Pierce family. You'll love it up there, Barry. They built a covered bridge over this ravine, with the river down below. Again, they've built a new, I guess, kind of a chalet, or it's a pretty big chalet where you can sit in and watch the games, be warm, overlooking the rink and everything. Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. The family is incredible. The wife, I can't remember her name. It's awful, but they let me come up, stay with them. They have their event up there for Ash. I stay in one of their houses by myself in my own little chalet. Yeah, so they're good. We've stayed in touch. They're a really cool family. Tom, that clown, Tony, the ex-Giant, ex to my repeater. Okay, let me read this again. Tom, that clown, Tony, the ex-Giant, told Giants fans on X to ask my repeated S and D, and now Eddie drops it. Right. Yes, I heard that this morning. Yeah. I'll tell you, when Eddie Schizzeri does those drops, I die. Like he does it. It is not just the drop. He's able to find it. He's got thousands, I guess. He's able to find it. I don't know how he does that. Plus, it's like how inappropriate it is too. It's classic. And that's part of his thing. Like he'll do it at the most inappropriate times. He does these drops on it. This is Boomer and Geo show in the morning on CBS Radio, WFAN here in New York. And man, he's funny. He gets Geo just crying, laughing. Like especially he's funny when Boomer's talking to a woman, and he'll play this one drop. He goes, "Nice jugs," and it's Boomer's voice from something he said in the past. And and I don't think, like, if the woman's on, she doesn't realize what's happening. She's probably thinking, "Is Boomer saying that?" And so Boomer, there's times where Boomer, I don't think he really gets mad because he knows it's a good humor and everything, but he has to explain what's going on in those situations. So funny stuff. And then Geo's great at impressions. Like he got a great impersonation of Bill Cowher. They pick on what's his name, Phil Simms, all the time with his lady glasses he wears. I haven't seen Grasher around much. We've been running in different circles. I haven't been doing as much stuff with the Rangers. Again, we're doing our own stuff in the Roscoe Mountain Club and speaking engagements and stuff. So, yeah, yes, we miss old Grasher there too. Yeah. Tom, what's the process with Canada? Do you need a passport? I'm still technically, when you get your U.S. citizen, you have to swear in that you disavow any other citizenship. But as far as Canada is concerned, they don't. I mean, that's not. I still have my birth certificate, so I can go back to Canada anytime I want. Some people call it dual citizenship. Again, my process, my experience when I went through getting my U.S. citizenship was, again, part of the process was disavowing any other citizenship. But let me see. Yeah, we've got a green. We've got a green. I got to go have a great day. Thanks, brother. Good talking to you again. William, good to have you on the show. Jessica Danahy is here. Jessica, how are you? You magical creature. What was the worst NHL arena that you played on? Oh, well, for me, it's got to be the Boston Garden. It was, I mean, the locker room was that like the old tile floor, and this literally there was rats running around the locker room. I mean, once we got in there, I mean, they stayed away, but when we first walk in, there's rats, they scurrying across the floor, and then like those things, like you have to go through the Boston bench to get on the ice. And if you ever get thrown out of a game, you're going through the Boston bench to get off the ice. Small little building, the crowd's right on top of you. That had to be the worst. Yeah. At the same time, though, I mean, the atmosphere, in a big game like a Ranger Boston game, it's pretty cool. It's just that it wasn't cool for the visiting team very much, but yeah. And obviously that's where I scored my first goal in my own net, my first NHL game. So that's another memory we can link on. It's funny. It's funny times. I don't wish it didn't happen, but Boomer starts talking about hockey and then he drops more. Yeah. I know the Google. That's funny too. Oh God, yeah. Eddie's. So people who don't watch or listen, Boomer Esiason is a former NHL player. His partner is this Gio. I can't remember his last name. It's terrible. I can't remember his last name. I listen to him every day too, and he's funny too. So they also have this Eddie Scazzeri who runs the board, I guess they call it. Music and all this kind of stuff. Al is the producer. Al Dukes. He plays the act like he's non-athletic and makes fun of himself and everything. Then there's Jerry Recco. So he does the updates. And Boomer's always picking on him too. Jerry really fires back to Greg Giannotti. Thank you, Susan. Yes, Susan Brooks, Greg Giannotti. And he's really funny. Again, he's got the impressions. And he's hilarious too. And I think at first he was kind of nervous around Boomer when they first started working together. But now he's gotten to the point where he gives it back to Boomer all the time and makes fun of him. So, yeah, and Boomer's a great guy. I played a charity game. The young boy down in New Jersey was paralyzed, and they have a charity game for him every year. It's terrible. I forget his name. And so Boomer brings his team. He plays with. What do they call them? What do they call? I can't remember. And those guys, you can tell, are kind of nervous around Boomer. That he's running the show, he's in charge, and they go all over the place playing. And so Boomer walked in, and all their guys were there. And there's at that time he was partners with Craig Carton, and Craig would always expand on this thing. I think Boomer liked Brad Richards, but wasn't the Wasps. Thank you, Rich Fasano. So Rich Fasano, Mr. Greenwich. The Wasps was Boomer's team, WASPS. And so Brad Richards walked in the locker room. So I started going, "Oh, Boomer, go suck up with him." And I was doing this in front of his team. And they were like, "Yeah, Tommy, keep going. Because they're not allowed to do that to Boomer." So I was really giving it to him. And Boomer was trying to have a conversation with Richards. And I was kept picking on him, talking this. He was actually getting a little pissed off. But it's funny. Rich Fazzato. Okay. So this is the king of hockey in Greenwich, Connecticut. When I was the Greenwich Blues program, I was the chief coach. And I don't know if I didn't think I gave him a start. I remember I knew Rich. He's had a young son, same age as my son, Shane. And so he started coaching. And most coaches would coach, 40, 50 games a year. Rich it was like 70 games a year. He'd go all over coaching, did more for kids than I know. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do a lot of good things, but the game of hockey, as far as coaching, he went above and beyond. It's not just the number of games, but his passion for it was always there. Loved coaching. He was a good coach too, in that he wanted to win, but he really knew that he was building people as well as coaching. So, good guy. Rich Spazzano, big family. Lives on Spazzano Drive in Greenwich, Connecticut. I think he still lives there. Yeah. 77. That's, it's, yes. This is the truth too, guys. 77 games they played one year at the Greenwich Blues. It's called the Greenwich Junior Cardinals. The high school team here is the Cardinals. So it's good. They want to kind of be a feeder program for the high school. So it's a good program. Yeah. Played at Dorothy Hamill Rink on Sue Murs Boulevard. So Sue Murs played for Team USA in hockey, or Dorothy Hamill's obviously the figure skater. So Dorothy Hamill Rink on Sue Murs Boulevard. Is it Boulevard or Street? Or okay. Well, here, I'm going to call Larry Brooks and get this put in the paper here too as well. We grew up in a food town away from me. That's earth-shattering news right there, Danny. You were picking on me first. Okay, so that's the way it goes. All right, guys. Again, apologize for being late, but again, over at Ebersol Ice Rink in White Plains tonight at 5 o'clock, the Rockland High School, I believe it's Rockland High School, plays the White Plains High School, and Rob Thorson, who heads up the program Shoulder Check, will be there to talk to, and it's designed to literally put your hand on somebody's shoulder, ask them if they're okay, do they need any help. Rob and his wife lost their son up in Darien, I believe it was, I think a year ago, or I can't remember how long ago it was. So they got this fantastic program. So they'll be speaking to the high school teams, making them more aware about helping each other out. Again, Shoulder Check. You can look that online, Shoulder Check. I didn't understand what it was at first. We went to a charity game. They had it up at Stanford. Dave Maloney and I were there. A lot of current Rangers were there. And I thought Shoulder Check obviously is a hockey term. And they're, Thorson's lost their son. He was a hockey player. And but when Dave actually did a great job, Dave Maloney, he was MC at the event. And there's three things that they said. So you reach out, you put your hand on the person's shoulder physically. I think it's you ask them if they're okay, you ask them if they need help. And there's one other part to it too. So it's a really great program. They're really trying to build it. So this is an opportunity. So I'll do some video of it and post that tomorrow as well. Again, Rob, great guy. And that's why I was late. We got talking. I know Rob a little bit. And we really got on the phone today and hit it off. So we just get babbling about it. I didn't realize what time it was. So again, Ebersol Ice Rink at 5 o'clock, but he'll be speaking before the game. So like if you want to go, it's get by 4:45, I'd say. It's open. It's an open rink, so it's open to the public. So great program, really good cause. About reaching out and help people. As we all know, we talk about so much, the mental health in our country, all over the world, is really not in a good state right now. And the more we can do to help people, the better. So again, there's also that 988 hotline, and you can reach out to myself or Mark, other people. And I think it's just important to reach out to people and say, listen, are you okay? Do you need help? Are you thinking of hurting yourself? And don't be afraid to ask those questions. I think the big part of it is just show people you care. And that could help out a lot. So do our best. Thank you, Christine. Barry Shelley, good to see you again. Again, so have a fantastic day. Hopefully we'll see somebody up at the Ebersol Ice Rink. If not, we'll see you next week for sure, right here.